Welcome to Copybook IS. So in this video we will discuss the question paper, the prelims question paper. I hope all of your guys exams was well. You did well. Hope you did well in your exams. So now let's start. So this is the general studies paper 1, and we look at all the questions. So in video we will cover the first 20 questions, and then we will move on to the further questions. So let's start. So the first question is, consider the following statements with reference to India. According to Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Act 2006, the medium enterprise are those which invest in plant and machinery between 15 crore and 25 crore. So this is the first statement, and the second one is that all bank loans to the micro, small and medium enterprise qualify under the priority sector. So now what is the answer? The answer to this question will be the B option, that is second statement is only correct. That is, all bank loans to the micro, small and medium enterprises qualify under the priority sector. Why only the second statement is correct is because government has kept the micro, small and medium enterprises in the priority sector, especially after the COVID, so that because all the industries and the sectors went down during the COVID and economy was affected. So before that also and after that also, government is giving priority sector lending to that sector, micro, small and medium enterprises, and it is promoting startups also and micro, small and medium enterprises also. So the first statement is wrong. That is the investment in plant and machinery between 15 crore and 25 crore. It is much more than that. So this it is not only between 15 crore and 25 crore, it can be more than that also. So now we know the answer, that is the answer will be 2 only. Now let's move to the second question. With reference to central bank digital currencies, consider the following statements. It is possible to make payment in digital currency without using US dollar or SWIFT system. So yes, it is possible to make payments in a digital currency without using US dollar or SWIFT system. We know it. We can make transactions. It is not compulsory to use the SWIFT system. In case of normal transfer, if there is if there is a transfer happening between two companies or two corporations or two countries, then the US SWIFT system is used. And in case of digital currency, it is not compulsory to use the SWIFT system. So in case of normal currency, that is the legal tender, it is the US SWIFT system is used, and not in the case of central bank digital currencies. So a digital currency can be distributed with a condition programmed to it, such as the time frame for spending it. A digital currency can be distributed with a condition programmed into it, such as a time frame for spending it. So yes, I think it can be programmed, and 2C is the answer. Both 1 and 2 is the answer. So it is you can read about it, this question. So you will come to know, if you read about the central bank digital currency topic, you have to go through it. Then you will come to know that it is possible to make payments without SWIFT system, and also the digital currency can be distributed with a condition programmed to it, that it is in such a time for spending it. Then the third one, in the context of finance, the term beta refers to. So the process of simultaneously buying and selling of an asset from different platforms. No, this is not the answer. This is not what beta refers to. Process of simultaneous buying and selling of an asset from different platforms, and is an investment strategy of a portfolio manager to balance risk versus reward. No, this is also not what beta refers to. Beta is not an investment strategy of a portfolio manager to balance risk versus reward. A type of systemic risk that arises where perfect hedging is not possible. So this is also not the answer. This is also not, and this is also not the answer. You have to find out what is hedging, and you have to write in comments what is hedging. So just go through what is hedging and describe it in the comments, so that other people can also know about it. Then the option D is the correct answer, a numeric value that measures the fluctuations of a stock to changes in the overall stock market. So this is what beta refers to. It is a numeric value that measures the fluctuations of a stock. Like if there is a particular stock of a company, so it will measure the value of fluctuation of that stock to the changes in the overall stock market. Okay, so this is the answer, a numeric value that measures the fluctuation of a stock to changes in the overall stock market. Then again, one second, we'll go on further. This was the third question. Then we will move on to the fourth question. Consider the following statements. The self-help groups program was originally initiated by the State Bank of India by providing micro credit to the financially deprived. Then the second statement is, in a self-help group, all members of a group take responsibility for a loan that an individual member takes. And the third statement is, the regional rural banks and the scheduled commercial banks support self-help groups. So the answer to the fourth question, one second. Yes. Yes. So now we'll look at this fourth question. So the first statement is wrong. That is, it was not initiated by the State Bank of India, but it was initiated by NABARD. So with the help of RBI. So the first statement is wrong here. NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, initiated it. Then, as we know, self-help groups are a group of people which come together to solve a problem. That is a problem can be, for example, in a village, poverty, hunger, or improving their living conditions. So this is what a self-help group is. So in a self-help group, all members of a group take responsibility for a loan that an individual member takes. So this is the correct statement. Yes, all members of a group take responsibility for a loan that an individual member takes. And the regional rural banks and scheduled commercial banks support self-help groups. So the regional rural banks and scheduled commercial banks don't support self-help groups. So this option is also wrong, and this option is also wrong. So the answer will be B, that is only 2. Only statement 2 is correct. Yes, only statement 2 is correct. Yes, so now let's move on to the fifth question. Statement 1 is that India's public sector healthcare system largely focuses on curative care with limited preventive, promotive, and rehabilitative care. So that is, curative care is more focused on compared to preventive care, that is prevention. We say that prevention is more important than cure, or more beneficial than cure. But in case of India, the public sector healthcare system largely focuses on curative care with limited preventive, promotive, and rehabilitative care. Then statement 2 is, under India's decentralized approach to healthcare delivery, the states are primarily responsible for organizing health services. So in case of this, first option is that both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct, and statement 2 is the correct explanation for statement 1. So as you can see, both the statements are correct here. That is, in case of public sector care system, India largely focuses on curative care and limited preventive, promotive, and rehabilitative care. Because of the large population of India, we can promote healthcare, but all the people will not be able to, it will not be able to reach all the people, and most of them, if especially if they're uneducated or from the rural areas where healthcare facilities is not that good. So more focus is on curative care. Then preventive care is also limited, and rehabilitative care is also limited. So the first statement is correct. Then the second statement, under India's decentralized approach to healthcare delivery, the states are primarily responsible for organizing health services. Yes, decentralized. If there is a decentralized approach, then of course states will be primarily responsible to organizing healthcare services, whether it is at the state level or the district level or the block level or the village level. So states will be responsible. So both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct here. but statement 2 is not the correct explanation of statement 1. So the answer will be fifth B. That is, both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct, and statement 2 is not the correct explanation for statement 1. So this is all. Because in statement 2 there is no mention of curative care or preventive or promotive or rehabilitative care. There is only mention of healthcare delivery. Then we will move on to sixth statement. So now, according to the United Nations World Water Development Report, with India extracts more than quarter of the world's groundwater withdrawal each year. Then second one is that in this question, as you can see, it is from the United Nations World Water Development Report. So either you will have to read that report, United Nations World Water Development Report, or you will find it in the monthly magazines of the coaching centers where the current affairs are covered, or you can find it in the newspapers where the findings of this report was covered. So these three options you have. So you will have to read it, otherwise you will not be able to attempt this question. This is directly from the current affairs, so if you have not read it, you will not be able to attempt it. So the first statement here is that both, according to the United Nations World Water Development Report 2022, India extracts more than a quarter of the world's groundwater withdrawal each year. So this is the correct statement. Yes, India extracts more than a quarter of the world's groundwater withdrawal each year, as India is largely dependent on groundwater. According to United Nations World Water Development Report, India extracts more than a quarter of the world's groundwater withdrawal each year. So as you can see how much we are dependent on the groundwater for drinking purpose or sanitation purpose or irrigation purpose or other purposes also, that we extract more than quarter of the world's groundwater withdrawal each year. So this is, our population is also very high. So more than 18% of the world's population lives in our country. So we use more than a quarter of the groundwater each year. We'll have to minimize it by using water judiciously. Then the second statement, India needs to extract more than a quarterly of the world's groundwater each year to satisfy the drinking water and sanitation needs of almost 18% of the world's population living in its territory. So this is not the correct statement. The most important consumption, that is of the groundwater, is due to the irrigation of our fields. So more than 85% of the water is groundwater is used for irrigation, not for sanitation and drinking. So this is the wrong statement. Then the answer of the sixth question will be C option, that is statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. So seventh question. Now we'll move on to the seventh question. Consider the following statements. According to the Constitution of India, the central government has a duty to protect states from internal disturbances. So this statement is correct, I think. And no, I think this statement is not correct. According to the Constitution of India, central government has a duty to protect state from internal disturbances. No, it can protect it from external aggression, but not from internal disturbances. So the states have to protect themselves during the internal disturbances. So this statement is wrong. Then the second statement is the Constitution of India exempts the states from providing legal counsel to a person being held for preventive detention. No, the Constitution of India does not exempt the state from providing legal counsel to a person being held for preventive detention. The state has to provide legal counsel to a person being held for preventive detention. So statement 2 is also wrong. Then the third statement, according to the Prevention of Terrorism Act 2002, confession of the accused before the police cannot be used as evidence. This is wrong. According to the Prevention of Terrorism Act 2002, confession of the accused before the police can be used as evidence. So the answer to this question is the first statement is wrong, the third statement is wrong. The second statement is correct. The Constitution of India exempts the states from providing legal counsel to a person being held for preventive detention. So the second statement is correct. So if how many of the above statements are correct? Only the answer will be, it is a confusing question. So the answer will be that only two statements are correct. So I think the first and second statements are correct, and the third one is wrong, because I know exactly that according to the Prevention of Terrorism Act, confession of the accused before the police can be used as an evidence. So third statement is wrong, and the first statement is correct, that central government has a duty to protect states from internal disturbances as well from external aggression. First statement is correct, and the second statement is also correct. So only two statements are corrected. Okay, now let's move on to the eighth question. Which of the following countries has been suffering from decades of civil strife and food shortages and was in news in the recent past for its very severe famine? So the answer to this is Somalia. This is from the uh, current affairs based question. You can read it. To Somalia, it was in the news. Somalia, there was civil strife, civil war going on there in Somalia between the military and the border protection force, I think, and also the people. And it is suffering from this from decades. And also, if there are the Somalia is a country with a large area under desert, and very less water resources is there, so there is also food shortages. The economy is also not very good, so it was in news in the recent past. So Somalia is the answer. Answer is D, option D, Somalia. Consider the following. Then we will move on to the next ninth statement. In India, the biodiversity management committees are key to the realization of the objectives of Nagoya Protocol. Nagoya Protocol is regarding the genetic sharing for equitable is regarding the genetics for, and regarding the equitable sharing and benefit. So that is what Nagoya Protocol is about. So in India, the biodiversity management committees are key to the realization of the objectives of the Nagoya Protocol. So this is the correct statement. Biodiversity management committees are key to the realization of the objectives of the Nagoya Protocol. Otherwise, there are no other committees. And the biodiversity management committees have important functions in determining access and benefit sharing. So yes, they have important function in determining access and benefit sharing, including the power to levy collection fees on the access of biological resources within its jurisdiction. So yes, important, they have the important function in determining access and benefit sharing, and the power to levy collection fees also, and the access of biological resources within its jurisdiction. So both statements 1 and 2 are correct. So the option will be answer C, option C. So now let's move further. Consider the following statements in respect of election to the President of India, and it has been asked how many of the above statements are correct. So let's see. The first statement is the members nominated to either house of the parliament or the legislative assemblies of states are also eligible to be included in the electoral college. So the first statement is the members nominated to either house of the parliament or the legislative assembly of the states are also eligible to be included in the electoral college. No, the nominated members are not included in the electoral college of the president, so this statement is wrong. Higher the number of elective assembly seats, higher is the value of vote of each MLA of that state. No, it is it depends on the number of assembly seats, but it depends on the population of the state as well. So higher is the value of vote of each MLA of that state. No, so this is also wrong. The value of vote of each MLA of Madhya Pradesh is greater than that of Kerala. I think the population of Madhya Pradesh. Here we'll have to compare the population of Madhya Pradesh and Kerala, and then divide it by the number of seats there. So you will see that the value of each vote of, you can find it out and write in the comments what is the value of vote of each MLA of Madhya Pradesh and what is the value of vote of each MLA of Kerala. So you will find that I think Kerala has a higher, I think the value of vote of each MLA of Kerala is higher than the value of vote of each MLA of Madhya Pradesh. So this statement is also wrong. The fourth statement is value of vote of each MLA of Puducherry is higher than that of the Arunachal Pradesh because the ratio of total population to total number of elective seats is in Puducherry is greater as compared to Arunachal Pradesh. Yes, this is the correct statement. Value of vote of each MLA of Puducherry is higher than that of Arunachal Pradesh because the ratio of total population to total number of elective seats. So total population, yes, it is greater as compared to the Arunachal Pradesh. Yes, this is the correct statement. So only one statement is correct, that is the fourth statement. So the answer will be A option, that is the The answer will be A, only one. That is 10th A. So only one option is correct. That is the fourth statement is correct. Then we'll move on to 11th question. Consider following countries: Bulgaria, Czech Republic, Hungary, Latvia, Lithuania, Romania. So you have to find out the capital of these countries and write down in the comments what is the capital of Bulgaria, what is the capital of Czech Republic. I will tell you Prague. Then what is the capital of Hungary? It is Budapest. You have to find the capital of Latvia, Lithuania, and Romania. Okay, I'll tell you about Romania also. It is Bucharest. Then you have to find it Latvia, Lithuania, and Bulgaria, and write in the comments what is the capital of Bulgaria, what is the capital of Latvia, and what is the capital of Lithuania. Also look at the maps of these countries and where they are situated. So now, how many of the above mentioned countries share a land border with Ukraine? So as we know, due to the Russia-Ukraine war, Ukraine is in news, and you have to find out in this question that how many of these countries share a land border with Ukraine. So the first country, Bulgaria, does not share it. Second country, Czech Republic, does not share the border. Hungary shares the border with Ukraine. Many of the refugees from Ukraine were trying to cross the border and go into Hungary. Then Latvia does not share the border. Lithuania also does not share the border. These are Baltic countries, Latvia and Lithuania, I think, and the sixth country, Romania, shares the border. So the option will be A option, only two. That is, only Hungary and Romania share the border, so only two. And as you say, as I will tell you, Ukraine is surrounded by Russia. Then there is Belarus, Poland, Moldova is also there, Hungary is there, Romania is there, and one more country is there. You have to find out that country and write in the comments which one more country is there. Oh, that is Slovakia. So these countries are bordering Ukraine. That is Russia, Belarus, Romania, then Hungary, Moldova, and Slovakia. So now we'll move on to the 12th question. With reference to the Earth's atmosphere, which one of the following statements is correct? The total amount of insolation received at the equator is roughly about 10 times of that received at the poles. This is the wrong statement. Then the infrared rays constitute roughly 2/3 of insolation. No, this is also the wrong statement. They do not constitute 2/3 of the insolation. Then the third, infrared waves are largely absorbed by water vapor that is concentrated in the lower atmosphere. Yes, this is the correct statement. And the last statement, infrared waves are a part of visible spectrum of electromagnetic waves of solar radiation. No, infrared waves are not visible, do not lie in the visual spectrum of the electromagnetic waves of solar radiation. So only option only C statement is correct. And I think the total amount of insolation received at the equator is 8 times that received at the poles, not 10 times. Then statement 13, consider the following statements. Okay, so in this video we will keep it till question number 10. In the next video, question number 12. In the next video we will continue from question number 13. Okay, so see you in the next video.